What's going on, guys? Steady Muffin here, and welcome to Hardcore Minecraft 100 Days. Now, before we get into this is probably not going to be the first 100 Days Hardcore Minecraft you have ever seen, and it is most definitely not going to be the best Hardcore Minecraft 100 Days you will ever see, but this is my story, and I'm going to tell it. I have had many attempts at surviving for 100 days on Hardcore Minecraft, and honestly, I didn't think it was going to be that hard, but death after death taught me different. And now, after 9 previous attempts, let's get in to day number 1.
Hey, what time is it?
It's muffin time! It's muffin time!
Actually, it's 12:30.
And here we are, day number 1. A fresh new Minecraft world. Looks like any other Minecraft world you may have seen, but this one can kill in an instant. If you're not familiar with hardcore Minecraft, it's very simple. It's Minecraft, but a lot harder. Pretty much anything can kill you quicker than usual, and once you're dead, your world is deleted. So this day will start off like any other Minecraft day ones, by punching trees for wood, crafting a crafting table, and make some wooden tools. Mine some coal, which you'll be seeing a lot through these 100 days, and look at that, already heading into a cave. Do I have a death wish? Did find some more coal and iron before fleeing from my life. Normally, you should make a dirt house and cower inside, but I prefer to look around. But wandering around can sometimes work out. Look at that! A village! This is perfect. Found some good stuff in the chests, like some food and some armor. Food is really important in hardcore Minecraft, as your hunger bar drops faster than normal. And if I'm going to set up shop here, these villagers are going to need to stay at home. Took me a while to get them all in, and it soon got dark. Ah! A zombie! Time to head to bed to end day number 1. Day 2, and I'm out doing some maintenance. Want to get rid of this tree. And oh my god, a creeper explodes right behind me, leaving me on 2 hearts. That was nearly the end of this 100 days already. Mined some coal to make myself feel better, and broke my first pickaxe. S in the comments for the first pickaxe. Mined some cobblestone very slowly with my wooden pickaxe, as I needed to craft a furnace to smelt my iron. While waiting for that, I mined the rest of the hay in the area. This will get me some good emeralds to start off with. As the sun went down, I was removing all the job blocks in the village. These villagers will be what I want them to be. Was brave in the dark until I saw a zombie in the middle of the village. So I headed to bed to find a nimwit in my bed. Get out! Left him there and slept next door. Day 3, and I'm up early defending my land against this zombie with a block of cobblestone. Oh my god, I'm on fire! Put myself out and decided it's probably best to craft a sword to fight with. Mined up the rest of the hay in the village before setting up a shop to start selling items. First up will be a toolsmith to sell all my coal. Second up, a farmer who's going to buy my wheat. Did try to set up an armourer, but accidentally hit him, making him increase his prices. I really need to do something about this nimwit sleeping in my bed. Day 4, and I'm at the shops, selling off all the wheat for emeralds. Did a tiny bit of exploring of the surrounding area, and of course I ended up in a cave. Mined a bunch of coal and even some iron. I can smell the profit. And I crafted my first iron pickaxe. Woohoo! I finished up in the cave and headed straight back to the market to sell off my remaining wheat and coal. Although the toolsmith was playing hard to get. After some adjustments to his shop, he leveled up, and now he'll buy some iron as well. Had another go at the armourer, but he is still holding a grudge, so I left him to get over it. Fought the nimwit for the rights to my bed, and went asleep. Day 5, and I'm back out exploring. Made some stairs down to a particularly interesting looking cave. Made some stairs down and ran around placing some torches. This is so dangerous, as I've only got some leather armour on. Hit and run was my best course of action, taking out a zombie, and a spider, and even a skeleton. Mined all the iron and the coal that I could find before facing down my first creeper. And winning! By the time I left the cave it was dark, and I had to clear a zombie out of my house before heading to bed. Day 6 started with cooking some breakfast and smelting some iron. Exploring a small cave underneath my village, and I found an emerald! Decided I needed to increase my wheat farm if I wanted to maximise my profits, and I mined a lot of grass to get some seeds to plant. As it got dark, I tackled some unwanted guests before heading to bed. Day 7, and I've decided I want a Fletcher to trade with, but I can't remember how to craft a fletching table. Realised I needed flint, so went down and mined some gravel. Finally got my Fletcher, and he's going to buy some sticks at a reasonable price, so I spent the rest of the day cutting down trees till it got dark, then I headed to bed. Day 8, crafted a ton of sticks to sell and sold off all of my iron and coal. Brought an iron pickaxe with efficiency 3 before heading back to the woods to chop down some trees. Found myself another cave and mined out some more coal and iron. Could hear some zombies nearby, but instead of running away, I mined towards them, and a zombie fell on my head. I struggled to run away, panic set in, but I managed to build up. I am on 2 hearts. Took care of the offending zombie, but left that cave. That was close. Chopped down some more trees till dark, and then ran home to sleep. Day 9, I sold some coal. Killed some pigs, explored a big hole but couldn't get down, found a big stone plateau and mined some coal, gravel and iron before heading home to bed. Day 10, and my Fletcher was still out of stock for sticks. I realised he wasn't able to move to his job block, so I took away his bed, sold some more coal and iron, and finally now some sticks. Brought an iron chest plate and some boots from my armourer before realising I was never going to level him up. Spent some time googling on how to craft a grindstone and got a weaponsmith who sold me an iron sword with smite 3. Sold some more sticks and brought a new bow before the sun went down and I went to bed. Day 11, I'm greeted by a skeleton hiding outside. Buy a new pickaxe and head off into some nearby caves to mine some coal. Used the rather dangerous tactic of killing a creeper with a creeper and spent the rest of the day mining coal and iron. When I left the cave, it was already dark, so I scurried home and went to bed. Day 12, I sold off everything I own, then headed back out to chop down some trees and mine some coal. Decided I wanted to explore the nearby snowy mountain. I hate snow blocks, so I was going very, very slowly. Found a nice big cave and spent all night mining everything I could. Day 13, I'm still mining coal, iron, and even some emeralds in the mountain. This is the first night I haven't slept. Eventually though, my inventory was full, so I headed back home. Sold off some more sticks and brought a bow with power 2. Sold some coal and then finally went to sleep. Day 14, while waiting for some iron to smelt, I sold some iron to the toolsmith, who now sells a diamond pickaxe with unbreaking. Also brought a diamond axe. I brought 8 sets of iron boots for no reason at all. I think I'm going to have to abandon this armourer. Spent some more time at the shops before heading back out to chop down some trees and mine some coal. While looking around, I spy another village. It got dark by the time I swam over, but I took the time to lock away the villagers before sleeping in a new bed. Woke up on day 15 excited for a new village so close to my main village. I mined up all the hay for the profits and had a little explore of the surrounding area. And saw another village! Crafted a boat this time and headed over to raid the treasure. Got some emeralds, but not much else. Waited around for the sun to go down to lock away the villagers. Turns out there's more villagers than beds here. Up early on day 16 to head back to the first new village. Some of the villagers are jobless, so it's only right if I gave them some roles. Made myself a new armourer and brought some iron leggings. Took the rest of the day finding my way back to my home village. I found the iron golem stuck halfway up the mountain. I made 2 skeletons fight each other and killed the winner before heading to bed. Day 17, I cooked up some breakfast. I also wanted to craft a lectern, but I needed more paper. Spent some time at the shops before heading out for sugarcane. Found some and headed straight back home to craft a lectern. Spent all night re-rolling the librarian to finally get him to sell me some books of mending. Day 18, and I'm back at the shops making profit. I got my Fletcher to master level, rode my way back over to the second village, stopping off for some mining of coal. Made it just as the sun went down, but planted some sugarcane before heading to bed. Up early on day 19, dodging some creepers. Spent most of the day mining coal and chopping down trees for profit. Tired after all that manual labour, so got an early night. Day 20 starts out with some murdering of cows, before investigating a nearby big cave. Yep, you guessed it, I mined some coal and iron. Also found a spider spawner, but the chest was a little disappointing. Headed home as it got dark, and slept in the air. Day 21, I decided I wanted to have a bigger house in this village, so I moved next door. Sold some iron, but I really need some more, so I set off to explore the nearby mountain. Zombies obviously heard I was coming and arranged a welcome party. Got into a bit of trouble with a creeper and a couple of skeletons, but managed to swim up the waterfall to safety. Made the cave a bit safer with some torches and continued to mine into the night before heading home for a late night sleep. Day 22 and I'm back selling my treasures to the armourer, who now sells me diamond armour. Gathered some more iron and coal and sugarcane. Crafted another lectern as I'm looking for books of fortune. Took all day and night trying and finally got fortune 3, but didn't have anything to trade with. Day 23, I planted sugarcane in a rush. Thought I would just use some bone meal for quick paper, and I discovered you can't use bone meal on sugarcane on Java Minecraft. I mean, what? Went back to check on Villager, and he's changed his trades. Took out my frustration on some pigs, calmed myself down with some mining of coal. Found a huge cave, which led down to an even bigger cave, but decided it had death written all over it. Ran home in the dark and slept as the sun came up. Day 24 and I noticed some lava underneath my house. Put it out with some water and mined up some obsidian. Don't get excited, I am not going to the nether until day 50. Brought some diamond boots and some leggings and sold off the rest of my coal and iron. Maxed out the armourer, who now sells full diamond armour. Did a harvest and used the bone meal I couldn't use earlier. The sun went down, so I went to bed. Day 25, and I spent pretty much the whole day rolling the librarian again to get fortune. Managed to get fortune 2 this time, and I made sure I traded. After that, I got an early night to celebrate. Early morning shopping on day 26, and brought my book of fortune, but I do still need an anvil. Went for a row and collected some sand. Rode back to the village and planted some more sugarcane. Watched the sunset over the jungle, had some dinner, and went to bed. Day 27, and I'm back out on the water again looking for some sugarcane. In my search for iron, I found some coal. Found a desert biome and a badlands biome. Investigated a mine shaft and found a minecart chest. Found my first diamond! To be fair though, I haven't actually done any real mining yet. Sat in my boat as the sun went down. Day 28, and I'm still in the badlands. Bravely destroyed a poison spider spawner. Mined up some coal and some gold. Carried on wandering around and found a desert village. These are my favourite villages. Stole everything they had and locked all the villagers away. As the sun set, I slept. Woke up on day 29 to a zombie walking past my front door. It's time to head back to my second village, which literally took me all day, and then I went straight to bed. Day 30, and I spent some time sorting out my inventory. Planted all the sugarcane and rode back to my home village. I come here to sell some sticks and some wheat. Went caving for some iron and nearly spent the whole night down there. Got to bed just before morning, so I slept for about an hour. Up early on day 31 harvesting the crops to sell off for some profit. Got the weaponsmith to master, now he sells me diamond swords. Had enough iron to craft an anvil, so I put mending onto my pickaxe. Spent the rest of the day chopping down trees before heading to bed with wood in hand. Day 32 started out with more selling of sticks, before I headed out for a bit more of an explore of the area. Chopped down some trees and mined some coal. Panicked a little bit as the sun went down as I got a bit lost, but thankfully made it back home. Back to selling sticks on day 33. Hey look, the iron golem made it back up. Rode back over to the second village to put fortune 2 onto my pickaxe. Sorted out 2 villagers with some separate workspace and made another librarian. And got unbreaking 3 on my first try. It was dark once I finished, so I went to bed. Day 34 and I make a cartographer next. Spent ages trying to sort the shop out for ease of shop. I've been living in the village for so long, I've decided it might be time to make my own house. Eyed up some land and started levelling off the landscape until it got dark. Day 35, 36 and 37, I pretty much spent all day levelling off the landscape. Day 38 started with a bang, but today, wall construction begins. Ran out of cobblestone pretty quick, so went mining and finished off the wall. Lit up the area with torches and did some degrassing. As it got dark, I lit up the dark spots and counted out the wall for entrances. Gotta be symmetrical. Harvesting the sugarcane started day 39 and made some paper to sell. Put some fence gates onto the compound and did some more landscaping. Mined more cobblestone till the sun went down and went to sleep. Day 40 and I've set up some furnaces as I'm going to be building my house out of stone brick. Decided for some extra security, my wall should probably be 2 blocks high. Marked out the footprint of where my house was going to be, and went to bed. House construction began on day 41. Chopped down some jungle trees to use for the flooring. and crafted the stone bricks for the walls. By the time the sun went down, I'd made a big rectangle. I installed some holes for the windows, but got infiltrated by a spider. Went to sleep in my old house for the last time. Day 42, and on my way to harvest some sugarcane, I found 2 of my villagers had been infected. No! Harvested the sugarcane, made some paper, and sold it. Started to move my chests across to the new compound and installed the windows. Went to sleep for the first time in my new house. Day 43, I put in some iron doors on my rectangle, installed some buttons and some pressure plates for them to open. Added some pillars to the door and replaced the corners with some smooth stone slabs. Put up some roof trim and installed the stairs to a second floor. Laid the flooring stroke ceiling and moved the last chest across as the sun was going down. Put up the second floor wall and moved the bed upstairs for sleepy time. Day 44, and I am remodelling the interior of the house. Brought some lanterns to replace the torches, and I needed more cobblestone, so I made a mine. At last! The mine led down to a cave, of course, and by the time I left the mine, it was dark. Continued the upstairs wall on day 45, but ran out of cobblestone pretty quick, so I went back to mining. Finished the wall as the sun went down, and I also crafted some stairs for the roof, and went to sleep. On day 46, I created myself a sort of bedroom, added some windows to the upstairs, and added the first layer to the roof. Looks okay. Finished off the roof except for above the bed where I want to put a roof window. Popped out to mine some sand and found some sugarcane. Back home and I tidied up the chests a bit before bedtime. Day 47, and I rode my way back to village 1 to sell some sticks. Started to move what inventory I had left here to my new compound and arrived back home just as the sun was going down. But did some more renovations. Installed my roof window and put down some carpet before sleeping. Day 48, and I'm up early chopping down some trees so I can finish off the roof. And I finished the roof! Made a shelter around my mine entrance using some polished deep slate. And started construction of a nether portal! Design is too open though, so I will sleep on it. Started day 49 mining some more deep slate to finish the portal shelter. And it's complete! Tomorrow, I'm going to the nether. Started to prepare for the nether, but got sidetracked with the idea of moving the villagers into my compound using a boat and minecart. Started digging out the tunnels and got a late night. Day 50. Officially the longest I have survived on hardcore Minecraft. And I'm going to the nether. The place I die the most. Preparing myself as best I could and lit up the portal. Took those nervous steps into the portal and didn't die instantly. First things first, I made the portal safe inside a nice big cobblestone box. Done a tiny bit of exploring just to see if I spawned near anything, and unfortunately, it looks like I didn't. Did find a chicken though. Not sure why. Anyway, enough of the nether. I'm going back to chop down some trees to feel safe. Constructed a villager hut on the compound. Was going to give them beds, but decided they ain't got time for sleeping. But I did sleep myself. Day 51, and I made a second villager pod and added some lanterns. Time to move the first villager. To say it wasn't the smoothest transfer would be an understatement, but I did manage to get him into the compound. Finally, success! Waited around for the sun to go down just to make sure he didn't despawn and went to bed. He didn't despawn! Woohoo! Promptly got on with moving a second villager into the compound, and again, it took some persuasion to get him in. In fact, it took all day long. In the end, I put him a bed down so I could get some sleep. Finally got him into his pod at the start of day 53. Quickly put together another pod and prepared the ground for my boat. Went for the next villager, and he missed the boat. Managed to get him in and into the compound too, but left him in the boat so I could sleep. Day 54, and I gave the villager the farmer job and got him into his pod. More profit! Rode my way back to village 1 with ideas of bringing a villager back with me. After preparing the ground, I found out that you could row off the edge of a mountain and not die. Rode back in the dark and nearly lost the villager to a drowned. Got him into the compound and got him into his pod just as the sun was coming up, but I still managed to get some sleep in. Day 55, and I managed to get 2 more villagers from village 1 into my compound. By the end of day 56, I had moved to Toolsmith from village 1. Day 57, I spent the day landscaping and tunnelling, ready to get the remaining villagers out. When it came time to sleep, I went to bed in the dirt where I belong. On day 58, I got the librarian out of the village and into his pod in the new compound. Up to 7 villagers now in my compound. Day 59, and I'm back in village 1 to take the useless armourer back with me. Had to do some more landscaping, but finally got underway flying off the mountain. Left him in the boat till morning as I need some sleep. Finally got him into his pod on day 60 and went back to the village 1 and got the weaponsmith to the compound. All in a day's work. Up to 9 villagers now. Day 61 I decided, and very stupidly I might add, to make an auto sugarcane farm. Googled a nice easy one and spent all day putting it together, but couldn't work out why it wouldn't work. Wasn't until early on day 62 I realised the error of my ways. Bone meal doesn't work on sugarcane on Java! Dismantled it in both disgust and embarrassment and built a normal bigger sugarcane farm on the compound before heading to bed. Day 63, after a quick sort out of my inventory, I sold off some paper and spent the rest of the day hunting squids for their sacks. Rather unsuccessfully as I only managed to get 7. Went to bed disappointed. On day 64, I spent the day harvesting some crops, cutting down trees, and selling it all for profits. I decided I would need a much bigger farm, so I made one. Got an early night after all that labouring. On day 65, I headed back over to village number 3 to kidnap some more villagers and add them to my collection. Got the farmer into my boat and headed back home. It was dark by the time I arrived, so I left him in the boat for the night. Day 66, and I built the new villager his pod, and I realised as I hadn't traded with him in the past, I could give him any job block I wanted. Made it a little tougher to get him into the pod, but eventually he was in, and became a librarian. Rolled him until I got some fire protection and settled him in. For some reason outside there was a zombie party going on. I brought a book of mending and added it to my chest plate. Burn, zombies, burn. Did the first great harvest of sugarcane on day 67. Rode back over to village 3 to grab another villager and arrived back just as it got dark, so went to bed. Made the new villager a pod on day 68, but he wouldn't change job. Spent absolutely ages trying and even Googling, but with no luck. Took up all the day, so I went to bed in a huff. Day 69. Villager still won't change job. Went back over to village 3 and destroyed all the job looks I could find. And I took another villager back with me, and it worked! Got my librarian, and I rolled him until I got some blast protection. Spent the night building up the next pod. And day 70, I got the next villager in for feather falling books. Day 71, I went out and explored a cave near the snowy mountain. It was massive. I didn't spend long down there as these trees are calling my name. Explored out a little further and it soon got dark on me, so I stood on top of the mountain for the night, mining some coal. Day 72, I watched the sun come up over the horizon and then got to mining coal, iron, and even some emeralds from the mountain. Somehow found myself back in the Badlands and decided I wanted to sleep in my own bed tonight, so I rode home to it. Did a harvest on day 73 and spent most of the day in the shops. Disenchanted my diamond leggings so I could put some fire protection on. Did some more shopping before bed called. Feeling brave, day 74, I'm going back to the Nether. Trying to find a fortress as I really want some blaze rods. Mined a tunnel in one direction, found nothing. Mined a tunnel in another direction, found nothing. A massive fail, so I went home to bed. Day 75, I'm back to kidnapping villagers from village 3. Got him back to the compound and chased him around for a bit till it got dark, so I left him in the boat for the night. For some reason this guy wanted to be a weaponsmith, but I wanted him to be a cleric. So I got him into his pod with a brewing stand and just hoped he would change his mind. And he did! Started construction on extending the compound today. I want more farming room. I levelled off a sizable area and lit it up as it got dark. First things first, it needs a wall. Tired after all that work, I headed to bed. Day 77, I finished laying the dirt for my new area and I made the new farms. I tried to maximise the space as best I could. Planted a ton of seeds and harvested my sugarcane before bed. Day 78 and I'm heading down into the mine today. Spent all day mining down to bedrock and still no diamonds. Did mine lots of deep slate, so I made some slab for walkways around the compound, and I spent all night laying them. Finished laying the slabs day 79 and went out to chop down some trees. Also hunted some squids and went back to the compound to do some selling. Added some more farmland to my new area and put in some fencing at the front of my house for some flowers. Day 80 and I made some lampposts for the compound. Really starting to feel homely. Did some more farming and waited till it got dark to go out and kill some zombies for their flesh. Day 81 and I did another sugarcane harvest and promptly sold the paper. Made some more farmland. Decided I didn't need my original farm next to my house anymore, so I ripped it out and laid some flooring. I have an idea! I ran out of cobblestone, so I went mining and found a new cave. Spent all night mining up some coal and iron. On day 82, I spent a lot of time chopping down some trees. I put up the walls of my new building, and for the first time this series, I hadn't slept long enough for the phantoms to come out and play. Killed off a couple and went to bed. Installed a roof to my new building on day 83, but decided the whole building wasn't big enough, so I increased it by 2 blocks. It's finished! Rode back over to village 1 and slept in my old bed. Day 84 and I put my idea into action. I have these 2 Nimwit villagers in village 1, who I'm hoping if I can get them across to the compound will be able to give me villager babies, thus giving me an infinite amount of villagers. I got Nimwit 1 into the boat and into the compound. Rode back and picked up Nimwit number 2 and took him to his new home. There is a creeper on my house roof. Dealt with the creeper and got Nimwit 2 into the villager factory. Day 85 I gave the guys their beds to do their business in. Installed some iron doors with buttons and they are ready for mating. Did my first big harvest at the new farm and fed them up. Nothing happened. Went to bed to give them some privacy. Still no baby at the start of day 86. Did some harvesting of crops and fed the villagers some carrots. Love! Gave them some privacy while I went shopping. Added some windows to the prison. I mean house. There's a baby villager! Made some more farmland before heading to bed. Day 87 won't take too long. Spent all day chopping down trees. On day 88, I made a nice dirt bridge from my compound to the shore across the water. I want to bring some animals back. Added blast protection to my boots and went to sleep. Day 89, I headed out for a bit of an explore in a different direction. Came across a broken nether portal. Fixed it up in the hopes it would spawn near something, but I'm not prepared for a visit to the nether. Went back home, and my baby villager has grown up! No sleeping tonight as I made him his pod and made him into a librarian. Rolled him until he sold me books of infinity. Day 90 started with a bang. Harvested some sugarcane and some skeletons and horses showed up. Added projectile protection to my helmet and harvested my crops to feed to my villagers. Installed a fence for an animal pen, and as it got dark I went out killing zombies before getting a late night. Day 91 I finished off the animal pen. Time to get some animals. Brought back some cows and a sheep, but this guy decided swimming would be more fun than walking across the bridge. Took me all day getting some more cows in, and I bred them for the babies. Fed some more crops to my villagers and went to harvest some more. When I came back, there was already a baby! Did some buying and selling and had no idea of making an auto sheep farm. Watched a YouTube tutorial and crafted what I needed. Took all night, but I think it's done. Day 93 and I went and saved Sammy the swimming sheep from the water. Got him into his new home and waited a long time to see if it worked. And it did! Got straight to work building a villager pod for a shepherd. Didn't sleep, so I went out and murdered some zombies. Day 94 I got straight on with building a second wool farm. Popped out to get a sheep and got him back and into the farm. Waited around to make sure it worked. And it did! Back out at night for rotten flesh. But it's all worth it as my cleric now sells ender pearls. Big harvest day on day 95. Checked on my wool farm and it's going along quite nicely. Fed the villagers till they got frisky and made myself a waste disposal system before bedtime. Day 96 I sold off my first batch of wool. And today I started preparing already for day 100 by watching a YouTube tutorial on fireworks as I've never used them before. Took me all day, so I went to sleep. Day 97 I rode out to the fixed nether portal, more prepared this time, and lit the portal. Not the best spawn, nothing really nearby, so I went back through. found a new village a little further on, and stole all they had, and even slept in their bed. Day 98 took all day finding my way back to the compound, just time to sell some wheat before sleep. Day 99. I worked more on my fireworks display. I watched another tutorial, and even did a practice run. Crafted a nice firework, and used my one and only diamond. Did some last minute shopping, and watched the sun go down. Had a wander around the compound to see just how far I'd come in 99 days. Didn't stop there though, as I worked through the night putting up another villager pod for a librarian. Here we are guys, day 100. Started off the day with the normal, buying and selling, and breeding. Sell up my fireworks display for later, and once again watch the sun disappear for the last time this 100 days. It's been a hell of a journey getting here. No, I didn't ask too much of myself in this 100 days, other than survive. But we did it. We set off the fireworks to bring an end to the 100 days. You want to see 200 days? Maybe fight the Ender Dragon or the Wither? You know what to do. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.